What's up, guys? It's finally time to cover 2025 horror, my most anticipated. I've been waiting to do this. Finally, we're going to do it. Let's go. What is up, guys? I'm super excited. I've finally gotten to the end of my end of year playlist. If you want to check all those videos out, I'll put a card here so you can check them out. I did quite a few of them. I'm not going to run down all of them like I did before. But now we're finally doing end of year 2025 horror. I might do a non-horror list too. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, this is a big one for me. Be sure to check out my second channel, Drumdums Xtra, because I did a quick video over there running down Bloody Disgusting's 50 horror movies coming out in 2025. Just a real quick rundown. Not my own personal like ranking of them or anything. Just if you want to know everything that's coming out horror-wise in 2025, or like most everything, definitely check out that video. And I'll put a card right here for that too, because I think you'll want to dust up on that. But this is my personal top 10 most anticipated movies of the year. But of course, you're going to get more than 10. I always give you more than 10. I'm probably going to give you like 15. All right. That's just the way I roll. But most of these, I'm not going to waste your time. I don't know much about some of these. So I'm not going to like just, you know, blow smoke, right? I'm just going to try to get through these as quick as possible. Also, real quick, if you like what I'm doing, hit subscribe. Thank you. Okay, number 15 is Wolfman. I'm literally seeing Wolfman tomorrow at a press screening. This is the one directed by Leigh Whannell with Chris Abbott in it. The little bit of controversy over what the wolf looks like. I don't know if there's been leaked images, but if you remember, there was like at Universal Studios, like Halloween Horror Nights. But Leigh Whannell is stating that werewolf that was there is not the final one in the movie. But I like from the behind the scenes, they stated that they didn't want to copy what the greats like Rick Baker and others have done with werewolves in the past. They wanted to create something new, and I'm excited about that. Number 14, Megan 2.0. I was not a big fan of Megan at all. I didn't really care for the characters that much. I know that's very cliche, but characters are important to me, okay? And I thought the characters were kind of assholes in that movie, and I didn't think there was too much in the way of like charm with the Megan doll himself, but I'm still looking forward to part 2. Part 2 could come out and be amazing, and they could go even harder with the violence and whatnot. It might surprise me. We'll see. Number 13, Predator Badlands. This should probably go up my list a little bit, but I'll just put it right here. Ellie Fanning. Now, I am hearing that the Predator in this movie is actually on the good guy side. Ellie Fanning is part of the villains. I don't know if I believe that, though. We'll see what happens. Ellie Fanning hardly ever plays a villain, if ever. I'm always down for a new Predator movie. It feels like they're leapfrogging Alien and Predator now. Like last year we had Alien Romulus. This year we got Predator. They're saying 2 Predator movies, but I'm guessing the other Predator movie is going to come out next year. I don't know. Great freaking band from late 80s too, by the way. Number 12, Fear Street, Prom Queen. I'm always down for any kind of good slasher action. I liked the Fear Street trilogy that came out on Netflix a couple of years ago. So, of course, I'm looking forward to this. I love like high school prom settings and slasher movies. Are you kidding me? Yeah, say no more. Number 11, Final Destination, Bloodlines. We are finally getting a new Final Destination movie, and I think the last one was, what, 2011? Somewhere around there, 2012? I can't remember, and I think the last one was one of the best. It was great. So, really curious to see which direction they're going with this one, but does it even really matter? All these movies have the same plot, and just give me good kills. That's all I ask for, right? If you give me good kills, then everything else is cream cheese. Okay, top 10. Number 10, Black Phone 2. This is, I think, a sequel to the last Black Phone. I need to rewatch Black Phone because if I remember correctly, didn't the grabber die at the end of that movie? And he's supposed to be in this, Ethan Hawke in this movie. We shall see. But I love that whole world that they created in the first Black Phone. I like the 70s type setting. I think it was 70s. Was it 70s or early 80s? Something like that. But yeah, I love that good serial killer creepy action, right? Kind of like what they did in Longlegs. So I'm definitely down for Black Phone 2. Number 9, Silent Night, Deadly Night. This is one that I just found out was coming out, I think around Christmas time. Bloody Disgusting announced it, and they are behind it. You can never give me enough Silent Night, Deadly Night. But what I'm curious about is, I know this is going to be a remake of the original, but if you're into the Silent Night franchise, all these movies, they definitely take liberties in the plot department, and they get pretty bonkers, especially once you get to like part 4 and 5. Part 3 is unwatchable almost. I wonder if they'll kind of sprinkle in some of that stuff from the other movies in this new one. We shall see. And number 8, Return of the Living Dead, another one that was announced pretty recently. We know nothing about this movie. I think I wagered that because of the lawsuit, I'd be surprised if this actually happens this year. But it is, I don't know if there's a date set for it. I think they're saying in October. But it also has, I think, a Christmas setting according to the teaser that came out. I'm always down for some more Return of the Living Dead. It could be horrible, though. Don't get me wrong. It could be atrocious, all right? I've only seen the first 3. I love all 3 of them. I haven't seen 4 and 5. Number 7, Presence. It's Steven Soderbergh. This is a haunted house ghost story type movie, but it's from the perspective of the actual ghost, which is kind of a novelty. Steven Soderbergh always likes to add a little bit of novelty to all of his movies, and this is no different. Has there ever been a haunted house movie with the point of view of the ghost where you see what they see? Yes, there has, and that is Amityville 2: The Possession. Number 6, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I think this will be the primer for Scream 7, which comes out next year in February. Because these properties, they feel very similar to each other, even though they're in different locations. It's more of a coastal type thing with I Know. So I'm curious about this one. I love that Julie James is back, Jennifer Love Hewitt. She has to be in the new movie, right? I think originally she was supposed to have kind of a cameo, but now she's fighting for a bigger role. And I agree. I think that character coming back needs to be just like Sidney Prescott. Not saying she's as big as Sidney Prescott. Of course not. But Julie James, I think, is an important final girl and a little bit underrated. What are you waiting for, huh? Number 5, The Monkey. This is Osgood Perkins' next movie. I know nothing about this movie. I think it's based on the Stephen King book, something like that. But other than that, I don't know anything, and I don't really care to know anything because it's Osgood Perkins. And he won me over with Long Legs. He won me over with Black Coat's Daughter. I'm all in for what he puts out. And so, yeah, I'll be there day one for The Monkey. Number 4, Companion, which comes out at the end of this month. There was a trailer to, or I think it was like the full trailer that was just released. Unfortunately, I watched it, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, do not watch that trailer. If you saw the teaser and you're in on this movie and you don't need anything else, I implore you, do not watch this new trailer because it gives away not only way too much, but it also gives away a huge hook to this movie. Some would call it a twist. I would call it a twist, but some might just want to call it a hook, okay? Because I think what I'm talking about is probably revealed pretty early on. I don't want to be that guy that spoils this for you, okay? But I am so down for this movie. I'm really looking forward to it. I hate that I know what I know, but I still am so looking forward to it. Plus, Jack Quaid, I mean, the guy's irresistible in horror movies, right? You can't get enough of him. And, of course, Sophie Thatcher. I have to mention her, too. I loved her in Heretic. I loved her in some of the other movies that she's done. And her star is rising. Number 3, The Fetus. This is Lauren Lavera from the Terrifier movies 2 and 3. And she is going to be in this movie with Bill Moseley. And I just watched the trailer again for this one right before I started recording this to remind myself. It looks like Bonkers. Like, this looks like the body horror movie that we need this year. And it involves a pregnancy. It seems like every year there's pregnancy in at least a few movies. Last year, there was like 4 movies that involved pregnancy, horror-wise. So this is the only one I know of. But from watching the trailer, it looks pretty gnarly. And it's always nice to see Lauren Lavera back. Number 2, 28 freaking years later. I've been waiting for this movie for a decade, even though it was once going to be called Months. Now, we've skipped that, and we're calling it 28 years later. I think we just found out that Cillian Murphy's officially not in this movie, but don't bet on that just yet because Hollywood likes surprises, and it would be cool if he does pop up in the new movie. Maybe they're just kind of keeping it close to the vest. Aaron Taylor Johnson is in this, though, but the big thing I love about these movies is just how intense and how emotional they often are. Both previous movies are intense and emotional. I think this one will be just that as well. The Ragers, the Rage virus infected, they are the scariest creatures, zombies, whatever you want to call them, even though I know they're not zombies. Stop it. They're the scariest of that, you know, they're the cousins of the zombies, okay? They're second cousins, all right? That's what we'll call them, but they're scary. And before we go number one, I'm going to say 1B, and that'll be They Follow. And that's just me really hoping and praying that They Follow comes out this year, but I don't think it's going to, because there's been nothing on this movie, no announcements whatsoever. So anything can happen. But It Follows is literally like one of my favorite horror movies of the past 20 years. So, of course, if They Follow does get a release date this year, it will be my number one. If you follow, no pun intended, the first movie, you know how creepy it is with, you know, kind of like zombie-like creatures coming after you. And it's sex-based, right? This is the franchise where you cannot have sex. The real number one is Hard Eyes. As soon as I saw the trailer for that, I was in love, I guess. It looks freaking awesome. It looks amazing. Kind of like what Thanksgiving gave us a couple years ago. This looks like it's going really for a hard R rating, really going gory, violent. I don't know gory, but man, it does look very violent according to the trailer. And it's set on Valentine's, which is one of my favorite like slasher holidays. I don't know why, I just love it to death. And so I think we need like a slasher franchise set around Valentine's Day. Can we start getting that going? Like, if this movie's a hit, can we just make Hard Eyes 2 and Hard Eyes 3? Because that's what we want, right? And give the people what they want. Yeah, that's it. That is my, there's 15 movies, really 16, that I'm so looking forward to this year in 2025. And I'm sure there's going to be some nice surprises along the way. There always are. And yeah, let me know down in the comments, guys. What are your most anticipated horror movies of the year? I need to know. Okay, I need to know. Also, subscribe to the channel. Be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where I talk horror all day and every day. And on Fridays, we do FIFA Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums on my socials. Support me on Patreon. Buy me a coffee. Become a channel member. We got a whole slew of new channel members recently on the last live stream. And it's a blast, okay? So anyway, guys, thank you. Drumdum out.